Mad King.
The 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 Mad King.
Burn them all!
The Mad King. Without him, we wouldn't have Game of Thrones at all. There'd be no Robert's Rebellion, no Daenerys, no Kingslayer. Ned Stark wouldn't even be Lord of Winterfell. But Aerys Targaryen wasn't always the Mad King. Even just 5 years before Robert's Rebellion, things were good. Tywin Lannister ruled as Hand of the King, Prince Rhaegar was all an heir could be. Sure, the king was a bit goofy, but it wasn't any worse than usual Targaryen shenanigans. So how did things get so bad that just 5 years later, the entire Targaryen dynasty was overthrown? This guy, played by me in our most recent Game of Thrones campaign. I know what you're saying. Arthur, who is this cartoon man? Was he in my TV show? This is Lord Denys Darklyn. And no, he didn't make it to Game of Thrones. But his nephew did. Sir Dontos Hollard, the drunken knight who Sansa saves from Joffrey, was the only survivor of the Mad King's extirpation of House Darklyn. He burned them all.
Burn them all!
Straight up deleting a dynasty is harsh, but nobody blamed Aerys. Lord Denys had kidnapped the king and held him hostage for half a year. Denys slaughtered his Kingsguard, threw the king in a dungeon, and even let children dance around and pull on his beard. It was this that drove the Mad King insane. It is here that our Game of Thrones campaign began. I played Lord Denys, trapped in my castle by Tywin Lannister, Prince Rhaegar, and the rest of the realm. We decided to resolve the hostage situation before the campaign began, meaning I could lose the game before we even started. We held the negotiations publicly in a live voice chat, which is what this video follows. But why did Denys kidnap the king? Well, if we're being honest, it was not a very good plan. Denys had no army, no allies, and a very angry king in his dungeon. I spent weeks trying to figure out any way to escape this terrible position, and came only to the conclusion that Denys Darklyn is the dumbest character in Game of Thrones. Or is he? In the original story, despite the threat of Denys executing the king, Tywin gave the order to storm the city anyways. Aerys only survived because Sir Barristan Selmy of the Kingsguard went full main character and rescued the king, easily a top 5 craziest feat in all of Game of Thrones. More on that later. Without his hostage, Lord Denys surrendered, at which point Aerys sacked the city and burned them all.
Burn them all!
But what if Barristan hadn't saved Aerys? Aerys asked the same question. Captivity had scrambled his eggs a little bit, so he became convinced that his son Rhaegar had conspired with Tywin to let Aerys die, which would have allowed Rhaegar to ascend the Iron Throne and marry Tywin's daughter, Cersei Lannister. And you know what? Aerys was right. That is exactly what Tywin Lannister wanted. I wouldn't go as far as to accuse Rhaegar of being involved in the scheme, but he wouldn't have to be. He was just a teenager, while Tywin was the richest lord in Westeros and had been Hand of the King for Rhaegar's entire life. A king needs a queen. Cersei would have been Rhaegar's first and only real option. So it really isn't that unreasonable to suspect that Tywin and Denys were conspiring together. In fact, some say it is the only real explanation for Denys' insane plan. I'm not saying that Denys conspired with Tywin to murder Aerys and marry Cersei to Rhaegar. That's unsaid.
It's not unsaid when you say it.
No, I'm not saying it, so in fact it is unsaid.
We agreed we would start after the abduction and from there make the story our own. I tried to come up with a plan, but I had nothing. Like Doctor Strange surfing the multiverse, every reality ended in defeat. Then, possessed by cosmic wisdom, 3 words came to me. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. From there, the plan flowed like wine. Also, the wine flowed like wine.
All too slippery. All is too slippery to say that. You heard the king say that and go, I'm writing that down.
I've been progressively, every time somebody offered me wine and snacks, took a snack or had some wine, I'm out of wine. We started with Tywin's tournament, where I started the first of 7 posts Aerys and I wrote setting up the hostage negotiations. Altogether, it's something like 20 pages worth of writing, way too much to get into here, so I will summarize what you need for this video. Links to the complete text are available in the description. I also did a dramatic rereading of our writings. Chapter 1 is public, with the rest available to channel members. I love making videos, and membership is the best way to help me keep making them. Anyways, I want to get to the video as much as you do, so I'll give you the fastest version of events possible so you know what's going on during the negotiations. Denys Darklyn, his brother-in-law Simon, and Simon's nephews, Dontos and Robin, traveled to Tywin's tournament. I mentioned Dontos earlier. He was the only survivor of Denys' plan, saved from Aerys' wrath by Barristan Selmy, eventually becoming King Joffrey's court jester. I also mentioned children dancing around Aerys and pulling his beard. That's Robin. Aerys did not spare Robin. Duskendale is in decline, and Denys wants to petition the king for a royal charter to save the city. But Tywin rejects Denys, denying him even the chance of having an audience with the king. It is here the scheme is born. Denys returns to Duskendale, and together with his wife, develops a plan to abduct Aerys. The most important thing to understand about my scheme is that it was never about the royal charter. It was always about taking down Tywin Lannister. Phase 1, gaslight. Denys, with the help of his wife and Maester, write a letter to King's Landing, baiting Aerys to Duskendale. While writing the letter, the Maester eats an entire chicken. This is important, I promise. Denys declares Duskendale will not pay any taxes until it has a new charter, and accuses Tywin of treason. Tywin would obviously tell Aerys not to go to Duskendale, and so Aerys would do the opposite out of spite. The plan worked, and Aerys came to Duskendale with a very small escort led by 1 knight of the Kingsguard. Their party is ambushed, Aerys is knocked out, and the Kingsguard knight is backstabbed by Simon with Stalwart. the Valyrian steel sword of House Darklyn. The signal to start the ambush is Tywin's theme song, The Reigns of Castamere. While Aerys is unconscious, Denys continues the gaslighting by playing The Reigns of Castamere non-stop. Aerys wakes up with a bleeding head wound and a terrible headache. Keep in mind, Aerys is being played by a different person, with us writing messages back and forth in character. The Aerys player did an incredible job playing the Mad King, as you will see in this video.
Rhaegar will think I'm insane, and I'm not. I'm not insane.
Denys reveals the ambush was Tywin Lannister's plan, the Kingsguard was in on it, Denys knew the attack was going to happen, but had to let it happen so Aerys could see evidence of Tywin's treason. Aerys denies all of this, but the seed is planted. He demands a horse and his missing dagger so he can return to King's Landing at once. I can't let Aerys leave, but I also can't force him to stay, beginning Phase 2, Gatekeep. Denys tells Aerys that it isn't safe to leave and suggests that Rhaegar is also in on the scheme. Aerys freaks out, demanding a horse and obsessing over his lost dagger. Denys leaves the room so Aerys can calm down. When the door closes, the Reigns of Castamere start playing again. Next, Denys hosts a dinner with Aerys, beginning Phase 3 of the plan, Girl Boss. The food and drink are intentionally disgusting, all part of Denys' wife's plan to get Aerys to drink poisoned wine, spiked with what I simply called nightmare juice. She doesn't tell Denys about this, since he needs to drink the wine too to convince Aerys it's safe. The nightmare juice was my coup de grace. Once Aerys drank that, I could manufacture whatever reality I wanted. Denys was going to make himself Hand of the King, appoint Simon to the Kingsguard, and arrest Tywin for treason. I just needed Aerys to drink the wine. Simon tries to give Aerys the wine, while his young squire Robin returns Aerys' dagger, which he says he found during the battle. Aerys completely ignores the wine and hyperfixates on Robin. He tells Robin the dagger is Valyrian steel and could make him rich. Robin tells the king he doesn't want to be rich, he just wants to be a knight. Suddenly, Aerys invites the boy on a walk, leaving the scene completely. Robin has to say yes, so I have Simon give him the wine in a desperate hope that Aerys drinks it anyways. And so little Robin, the boy whose only canonical appearance is pulling on Aerys' beard, walks the walls of Duskendale with the Mad King. After they leave the room, Maester Robert starts eating Aerys' untouched dinner. Again, I promise this is important. On their walk, Robin is drinking the wine the entire time, but it is still unclear if Aerys drank any. At this point, I could have just pretended it wasn't poisoned wine, but that would be lame. So I DM'd Aerys, revealing the wine is nightmare juice and that this kid's about to turn into a Scarecrow from The Dark Knight. He completely stole the scene and the ball is in his court. This goddamn madman knights Robin and appoints him to the Kingsguard. Geeking on nightmare juice and possessed by ghosts of dead Kingsguard, the 15-year-old Robin serves unflinchingly as the king takes over Duskendale, forcing his new Hand of the King, Denys, to enforce insane decrees, including a ban on blonde people. The king decides to wait and see what Tywin will do. Trapped for months in his own castle, Denys is forced to play Aerys' game, watching as Duskendale descends into a madhouse while Tywin, Rhaegar, and the rest of the realm siege the city. And finally, we are all caught up. For these negotiations, I obviously couldn't be Denys, since Tywin would arrest him if he left Duskendale. So, I played Maester Robert, since Maesters have diplomatic immunity. We recorded this in February. I still had like half a bottle of Christmas wine left, so I decided to get in character by begging for wine and drinking whenever somebody gave me some. It is important to keep in mind that only Aerys and I knew these negotiations were a game. Every other person, including Tywin and Rhaegar, thought we were negotiating in good faith and became increasingly agitated by my drunken buffoonery. It was amazing. If you want to play with us, there are links in the description to join. Our next campaign starts in the aftermath of the Dance of the Dragons, just before dragons went extinct. We're always welcoming new players. Please don't hesitate to join. Thank you, and enjoy the video. We in character now?
I'll be in character, sure.
Yeah, we can jump in. I mean, not super, not ERPing with you.
What? So, well, that took away my enjoyment of the scenario now.
We can if you want. I wasn't ready for that. I think I might get demonetized, but maybe for my
Take it for
Patreon.
clothes first. Oh, yeah, we can do an after show.
So, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Denys Darklyn has learned it is not easy being Aerys Targaryen's hand. Maybe he's even having some compassion for Tywin Lannister.
Indeed, he's starting to think, wait, has we been dealing with this the whole time?
Exactly. I'm Maester Robert, getting sent out to negotiate. You give me an unreasonable task.
Yeah, we drop these claims, and then Maester Robert will claim they're from the king, maybe?
We're telling the Maester. So, like, Aerys tells Denys. Denys tells the Maester. The Maester goes and tells Tywin. Tywin tells him to go f*** himself. He's got to walk all the way back, do it again.
Their camp isn't going to believe that these words are from the king. They're going to believe Denys is coming up with shit to benefit himself. Aerys will give commands that he knows are maybe outrageous, but also that maybe Denys would make.
So we just go out there, we hit them. It's classic negotiation, you hardball right off the bat, right? What are we asking for? We're asking for
Well, I guess your charter first.
Royal
Hand of the King.
Charter.
Negotiation, Hand of the King, a trial for Tywin Lannister.
Yes.
Like
Tywin Lannister trial.
Denys will claim that Aerys wants him to be Hand of the King. And Aerys is playing this fucking stupid ass game.
I love this. I'm so here for it. Aerys is so fun.
Oh, this is a crazy different Aerys. This is an Aerys. Oh my god, the knives in the walls are out to get me. This is Aerys, yo. I'm high as fuck right now.
I really like the detail that we don't even know that you drank the juice.
Exactly, yeah.
Between the head wound and the gaslighting. And
Yeah,
that's
people were
awesome.
asking in chat, like, did he drink? Did he not drink? Is this just him?
What exactly is Tywin Lannister trial? Not a lot of words.
Tywin Lannister trial. Tywin Lannister will be tried for treason against the crown.
Mm-hmm.
Tywin Lannister will be tried for conspiracy against the crown, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Round 1, it just says trial.
That's good. That's actually good. It just says trial. The Maester being a bumbling fat dude is a crazy move.
I feel like we're good.
Mm-hmm. Looks like they're doing a speech in the command tent.
Is this a good time for me to walk in?
It makes sense that they would suddenly just get news that Maester is coming out.
He's gonna squeak in. I'll be right back. Hello, Lord Fell.
Welcome to the trenches.
Hello, I'm on my way to go negotiate with Tywin Lannister.
You the maester then?
Yeah. You got any food?
No, sadly not. I just ate it.
You have
Beef
any
jerky.
wine?
That I do.
Can I have a sip?
You may.
Sweet, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Not a living soul gets out of the city or enters it without our explicit permission.
Are we planning to infiltrate the city in any way?
It is a decision that is on the table that I will not take lightly. By sending someone to infiltrate the city, we directly put the king's life in danger.
We cannot make this a military confrontation.
I'm not
I
even
agree.
saying I want him to live long, but I
Very
think
well.
my point stands. If all we're offering him is death, I'm worried
Caution
that is
yourself,
all we offer
Lord
the king.
Tully. He is still our king.
One thing truly strikes me, Lord Tywin, and that is that the king was sent as an emissary, and he was captured, and his men slaughtered. Who could we send that they would not do the same? It is my recommendation that we send Sir Barristan.
Seems as though a
Say
messenger
king.
approaches.
Hello?
Greetings,
My name
and-
is Robert. I am looking for the snacks. I saw Lord Tyrell eating. He said they weren't for me, but I just don't really believe him, to be perfectly honest.
There are no snacks here. Who are you again, good sir?
I am Duskendale's maester.
Good lord.
I
How
serve-
did
I serve
how
the
did you
hand of
get
the
in
king.
my tent without someone informing me?
I passed Lord Fell on the way in. He gave me a sip of his wine. That was very kind of him. Yes, I'm here to negotiate on behalf of the king and his hand.
His hand?
So,
Yeah,
I wrote
excuse
this down somewhere.
Where's your scroll?
Snacks are falling
got
out of
it
my
ready.
pocket. Commands of Lord Hand, Denys Darklyn. 1. He'll be recognized as Lord Hand, Denys Darklyn. 2. Duskendale will get a royal charter in the style of Dorne. This includes Duskendale becoming home to the new royal fleet, which will be constructed in Duskendale. The office of Master of Ships will be moved to Duskendale. Obviously, Lord Darklyn is occupied as Hand of the King, but I'm sure we will find a man to fill the position. We will move the Royal Mint to Duskendale. Subjects will be resettled. I don't have an exact number, something about maybe 50,000 people will move from King's Landing to Duskendale. That should help.
50,000 people.
Well, off the top of my head, I don't remember exactly what the number was. Maybe it was more, I don't remember.
And have you any evidence to the king's safety?
Sorry, is one more thing at the bottom of the paper. It just says Tywin Lannister trial.
A trial.
I don't, that's all I have.
For me.
You are Tywin Lannister.
So you have.
Correct.
A trial for what crime?
It just says trial. I don't know. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
There's
Can we
also
please, can we confirm the king's health? Can we see him?
Yes, I think this is the priority at the moment.
There could be no negotiations.
That was
if-
not discussed.
What was discussed?
Right.
Hand of the King, Royal Charter, Tywin Lannister trial. That's what I've got.
Whom
written
did
down.
you discuss this with? Was it Lord Denys? Was the king
The
there?
king and his Lord Hand.
And he did not place his royal stamp on this?
There's no stamp on this. This was just my notes.
Okay. Perhaps you go back and, I don't know, get some confirmation that the king is alive before we resume negotiations of any kind.
Until I know the king is alive, I see no reason to continue our negotiations.
I'll be right back. My lord?
Oh, all right, back.
There were no snacks.
No snacks.
You haven't found any, have you?
No, I made a fire.
Is there wine?
No, there's still one. We got plenty of
Can I
that
have
in
a
the
sip?
fucking trenches here. Yeah.
Sweet, thanks so much.
Welcome back.
So they were a bit confused They
Confused.
They want to know the details, but also they want. They said the paper wasn't stamped with the royal seal.
Well, I did not bring my royal seal with me. Simply impossible, unreasonable demand. I will not give Tywin the satisfaction of giving in to any demand of his. Instead, we will simply reaffirm our stance here. We must not budge. Tywin is a stubborn man and a fool. He is driven by pride. He will not accept even a signature. He will accept nothing.
So I'm going back with nothing.
Okay. Add treason to the end of Tywin Lannister trial, and then change the royal charter so that
We'll come down a little bit. Maybe the tax exemption is a bit pushing it too far.
yes.
And in terms of sign of life,
You know what? The king will mark he'll mark the paper in his blood.
okay,
Not even sign it, just mark it in his blood.
okay, perfect. Mace Tyrell said there's no snacks, but I don't believe him. Lord
Oh,
Fell?
you just got back right as I was getting some snacks on the fire.
Oh yes, I see. Oh
Yes.
yeah, we're eating good.
Yeah, it's
For
rat.
me?
Yeah, one of them could be.
Oh,
You
sweet.
get one
Thanks
stick, I get
so
the other
much,
stick,
dude.
man.
I
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
So what is happening?
I'm just a poor maester getting sent back and forth. There were no snacks in the tent. Mace Tyrell said there's no snacks, but I don't believe him. Lord Tarth, hello.
Greetings, Lords.
Greetings, Lord Tarth.
I actually believe I was supposed to follow you
Ah!
to the king himself.
Oh, that's unacceptable. I'm sorry. That cannot happen.
And why can that not happen?
The king will not allow it.
In any way?
Against the king's wishes.
That is his words, not mine.
And he's
Hence-
being allowed to just roam the camp as we speak. So have him summoned here immediately.
Hello. I see. Lord Tyrell is eating quite well. I have the king. I returned to the king and his lord head with the demands. 1 second. Fuck, I wrote them down somewhere. The king's official stance is to reaffirm his stance. He will not back down. Except
The king's stance.
we are willing to give up on the tax exemption on the royal charter.
He is unwilling to provide evidence that he lives.
No, there is evidence. He wrote next to Tywin Lannister trial. You can see right here. He
Yeah,
wrote the word treason in
Is my
blood.
understanding correct that the king does not wish to see us? Is that what you're telling me right now at this juncture?
Yeah, you speak as though these are the king's commands and not the machinations of Lord
He
Darklyn.
wrote it in his blood. He wrote the word treason.
Okay,
It's
hold
here
on. Let
for
me
me
see
to give
this.
to you.
Let me see this. Hold on.
Yeah, right, here you go. It's right here. It's very clearly he added the word treason to the end of Tywin Lannister
I mean,
trial.
it does look like him, but that's not really great evidence. You know what I'm saying?
there must be visual evidence.
The king
That's
fears for his
unnecessary.
life. Also, it is just not a very hospitable environment, to be honest. I told him about the snacks.
Maester, he fears Lord Tywin.
Indeed, after the attack on his life.
The attack on his life that I've ridden across half the continent to rescue him from.
Does he know I'm here?
No, actually, I forgot to bring that up.
You didn't tell him I was here?
Should I tell him?
Yeah, you should tell him. In that case, he might understand that if I stand with Lord Tywin poses no threat to him.
You do not. I'm not gonna say that, even if you want me to. I'm
Okay.
gonna tell him that you're here and that you are.
I would like to speak with him. I would like to speak with my
Okay, I'm gonna
father.
tell him that you're here. And in terms of the charter.
We cannot discuss the charter until I speak with him.
Okay.
You can go now.
Oh, you're back.
Lord
I
Fell.
just got done. We're just getting some wooden boards down in the trenches, seeing as this might be a while.
Next time, Lord Fell, I'll be the one with the snacks. Speaking
Oh,
of,
okay.
have you any? Maybe
no,
a spot of wine?
You took. We still have wine. We have plenty
Oh,
of
I'd
that.
I'd love a spot of wine.
All right, you may have some.
Oh, thank you so much.
No problem.
Your Grace,
Welcome
I
back.
think we got them on the charter. I think it's working.
Really?
Their exact words were, "We can't talk about the charter until we know
How
until
delightful.
we know the king is alive." Little do they know
Of course,
that is
the king
talking
is
about the
alive.
charter.
He's sending them
Also,
messages.
They wanted me to mention. I'm really sorry I forgot to mention this. That your son is there.
But he is but a babe.
The other one.
Rhaegar.
Yes. I don't know. I didn't see the babe Viserys there. Should I ask?
Ask him if Viserys has come as well.
They said they wanted you to come speak with them.
I can see some merit in their idea. How about this? I will speak to an emissary of theirs in Dunfort. We will let them in.
Yes.
If that emissary is Tywin Lannister.
Oh,
I will accept only Tywin Lannister as an emissary. He must come here alone and tell me what he thinks. Yes. If Tywin comes in here on his own, he would be a fool. He would be a blustering fool.
Maybe you could say when Tywin says no, you could offer to Rhaegar. Maybe he would come.
No, because if Rhaegar comes in here, then the game's up.
No, we just won't let him leave.
Oh.
Okay, I'll go.
This fucking guy. Yes, okay. This is
all right.
is
I'll
sensible.
relay your message.
Welcome.
My lords.
Oh, who's
Sh-
this new one in the trench?
I
haven't
forgot
seen
the
this one.
snacks. I'm so sorry.
I am Lord Brax. I have been ordered to escort him to and from the front line.
Okay.
Oh.
Understood. Have you any wine?
We have wine, but we also started digging.
Are we
I
farming?
have some wine, which I would be.
No. You know the term's under digging.
Under digging? No, I don't actually.
No, okay.
I can't read.
I thought you were the mason.
You're a maester.
Yeah, of Duskendale.
Lord Brosby, as much as I appreciate your wisdom, it seems as though a messenger approaches.
I will let you be. Yeah, I will. I must go before my.
Maybe the Maester should see him. There's a buffet here? Oh
Is
my-
that the maester?
Yes. Thank God. Thank the Seven for Lord Fell and his wine.
A drunk maester, negotiating a peace deal.
Anyways, where did I put this?
All right, now listen here, you Sniverling Bampot.
Okay.
I have a proposal for you. So put down your stupid,
You
your stupid
speak over
scroll.
the king?
I speak over you.
Well, that's
Foolish.
Okay.
The king will never refuse to see me. This is preposterous. This
Uh,
I cannot be more.
Do you
quick
want
on
to
this.
see the king? I have word from the king. Tywin may come as an emissary. Lord Tywin may come.
Lord Tywin
Yes.
only.
Alone.
As a hostage? What?
And he is
Who
aware, and he has
would
been
think me a fool to enter your city undefended?
He thought you might say that, so I got this, I wrote this on the side. It says, if Tywin says no, which he will, Rhaegar can come instead. He would love to speak with his son. Also, he has a very important question. Is Viserys here? So
We have not brought a young child to a siege.
you brought Rhaegar.
This maester speaks of Viserys, a 1-year-old child.
Is he one already?
He missed his birthday, yes.
Oh God, no! We're having another birthday. Anyways, my prince, the king would love if you came to see him, and we could smooth this whole thing out.
My prince, as I did with your father, I must implore you not to make foolish action and enter that city alone.
Also, he says we can scrap the master of ships thing. It's kind of redundant.
How about this? I will go before your city in view of your archers, and I will speak to the king. He can stand on the walls. If you do not agree to that extremely generous offer, I'm going to pick up my warhammer and attack your gate until either I destroy the gate or you kill me. If you kill me, I will swear every single Stormlander under my oath that they will have a blood pact against House Darklyn, and they will see you run into the ground, beneath the
Dude,
ground,
I lost
and
you.
then shoved into the
lost
ocean.
it.
Lord Stefan, I beg you.
If there's no wine, I have to go back.
Get this man some wine.
Anyways, my prince, will you come back with me?
I am only allowed to go alone. No accompaniment.
Stefan can come stand outside the walls if he wants. That's fine.
He's not coming with me if he's just standing outside the walls watching.
How about myself? The king would surely understand.
Who is this man?
You speak to the Lord Aemon Tarth.
Ooh,
I am
Aemon. He may like that.
Where does Sir Barristan tell me stand in this situation? My king's got. Who is accompanying me?
Ooh, I'd have to ask him. But I really have to get back to him. He is quite impatient.
I am going to fucking sunder this man.
My lords,
the
I
visitors.
am
friend.
in quite a rush. Is there wine?
No.
Your Grace, I'm sorry that took so long. I feel like they went for the masterships thing. I feel like that was good.
I seem to be becoming more and more agreeable by the second. What of their emissary?
Obviously, Tywin said no. Stefan asked if he could come.
Stefan is here.
He wishes to speak to you from the walls, but I know how much you hate heights.
Yes, it is a dreadful fall, and it's so slippery out here.
So, the prince would love to see you. He just wants to know if the Sir Barristan Selmy may come with him. And I said, I'd have to ask.
If Rhaegar comes in here and he brings Barristan,
Because this is the thing. Rhaegar comes in here with Barristan. You just tell Barristan what to do. You're the king.
he comes in here, I tell him, I can't let them in on this scheme. Rhaegar will think I'm insane, and I'm not. I'm not insane. Maybe now the move for Aerys would be to send an insult back, maybe? Which would then trigger Tywin.
Oh, I forgot to mention. When I said resettle subjects, the game sends 2 development. And King's Landing is like 10 development or something. So I was like, what's 10% the population of King's Landing? So I just on stage, I said 50,000 people should be relocated from King's Landing to Duskendale.
But pump the number up. 100,000 people. Wall too slippery. Wall is too slippery. He's gonna say that. You heard the king say that and go, I'm writing that down.
I've been progressively, every time somebody offered me wine and snacks, took a snack or had some wine, I'm out of wine. So Maester Robert has been getting progressively more drunk.
Maybe he gets nervous when he's supposed to pass the insult over.
He says Mace Tyrell has to read this off. What should Mace Tyrell be forced to say?
God, something really insulting directly to Tywin. Something just completely horrendous. His imp son is pretty sensitive topic. Oh, or his dead wife.
Oh my God, you gotta get the dead wife.
And also Lord Denys should be hand. Like let's keep the hand. Because Denys is personal.
Also, Tywin trial.
Tywin trial is back. It's back on the table.
Dennis hand.
Tywin trial is back on the table.
Also,
okay, this is fucked up. Okay, that's it. And then if Rhaegar and Barristan comes in here, they'll help me quote unquote escape.
What, you were gonna shoot him?
Keep up, right? Keep up, Lord Brax. Have you any wine?
I have what's left in my
Don't mind if I do.
Well, it seems he approaches.
Hold on. I have the king is.
I presume you have it written down somewhere.
Yes, but this time.
Not on the back of a napkin.
The king says Mace Tyrell must read it.
Someone fetch Mace Tyrell.
My prince, is this summoned me?
Yes, but let me get through my part first. Your part is the ending. So I will give you this piece of paper when I'm done. So it says, Aerys would love to see Rhaegar, his son, but he says, and he would love to see his good old friend, Stephen Baratheon, but he says the wall is too slippery and that it's...
Stefan Baratheon.
Yeah, his wall is too slippery. That's all I got written down. Wall too slippery.
Am I hearing this correctly?
We've decided, you've played hardball on the charter. It is the king's will. We're going to scrap everything, but we're going to double the amount of subjects resettled in Duskendale.
Shall we allow the entire city to migrate at this rate?
100,000.
Would you like me to ask?
You want 100,000 civilians to be forcibly relocated?
Also, Tywin trial, which Denys will see over because he is the hand of the king. And then this part for...
Again, you speak of a trial, yet no crime has been committed.
And Mace Tyrell, here is your paper.
Where is
it? Second. It's on the way. It's on the way. I forgot which piece of paper it was.
This might be the most incompetent maester I've ever met.
I mean, I'm the Maester of Duskendale. What do you expect? Tyrell, handing you a paper. I already read a lot of it, but can you read the part at the bottom, please?
Lord Denys says, says Tywin Lannister's wife died.
Huh?
What?
No, again, read it again.
That's what it reads here.
Read it again.
Lord Denys says, King says, Tywin Lannister's wife died.
Is he just reminding us, or?
Apprehend him.
Me?
You.
A chained maester.
Kick him to his knees and restrain his arms behind his back. I will not be mocked.
Mace Tyrell. There was one more command from the king.
Where?
I forgot to write it down, but he wanted you to give me the snacks. Don't let a man die on an empty stomach.
You know, he has spirit. I give it to him.
Have his punishment dealt.
Look,
For now,
we have had enough of his foolishness.
Who?
Into the mace.
Bro.
Take away his snacks. How is he eating snacks? His arms are restrained.
Mace, stop feeding him. Lord Tywin, might we speak alone?
Yes, everyone else leave. And have this rapscallion escorted to the cells.
So, not exactly sure how to explain this in character, but the maester is in the cells. He's done.
He's done. They got him. They took him. Crazy, bro. So what now? No response back.
I think no response. I think they're I think Barristan's about to send it.
Wow.
So I guess yeah, I'm Denys.
Man.
We're gonna win, right? That's the plan, right?
Then I would perhaps when Barristan arrives.
Oh yeah, baby. The gates of Duskendale open. 4 riders emerge. Lord Hand Denys Darklyn, King Aerys Targaryen, and on each side, his Kingsguard, Sir Barristan Selmy and Sir Robin Hollard. Tywin and Rhaegar meet them. Denys Darklyn points at Tywin Lannister and says, "The king says you have to give me your chain of office. Do it now, and he may show you mercy."
Tywin would turn to the king.
"I am the hand of the king, and you will do as I say. And you..."
His words are cut short by a blade, piercing through his back. Valyrian steel clean. Behind him, one of the young Kingsguard, a boy unfamiliar to most, in a bloodied white armor and a bloodied white cloak, has run him through, and that is when Aerys steps forward. "You have wasted all this time outside these gates, while I have suffered inside, day after day, week after week. Where have you been?"
Your Grace.
Father, I came as soon as I heard the news, and I wanted to speak with you. I wanted to come to you, but...
Months.
Barristan was sent in my stead.
Indeed. And Barristan has told me a fine thing indeed, how your reckless foolishness would have doomed your king. How you threaten and connive and plan to invade and destroy the city, and thus dooming me, knowing full well I was in Denys's clutches.
This was not my desire.
No, of course not, my son. I know whose desire it is. Lord Hand.
Your Grace, do you see my men? Do you witness their actions? Do you see them assaulting the city?
I know your plans. I see your mind, Tywin Lannister. Do not think to deceive me. I am undeceivable. Hear me now. The lords of Duskendale have betrayed our realm. They have murdered a good knight of the Kingsguard and tried their poxy hands at open rebellion. And worse yet, they have held your king captive for months without the knowledge of his family or his subjects. There is but one response. Whosoever brings me the heads of Denys Darklyn's wretched kin, his slick-spittle servants, his traitor knights, whoever delivers them to me bloodied and unbowed, shall have their lands, their keep, and their titles bestowed upon them. Let their banners burn and lie waste until the world forgets they ever existed. Men, attack the city! Destroy Duskendale! Sound the attack, Lord Hand.
Tywin would silently reach to his neck and remove the necklace of Hand of the King and drop it at his feet.
Well, it appears Denys Darklyn got his wish after all.
Was it Denys Darklyn's, Your Grace? Or was it yours?
Do not think to know my mind, Tywin. You never have. Duskendale burns. That is it. Pick up your badge. Go home. I care not.
At this point, Tywin Lannister would turn away from the king and walk away.
Good then. Leave! I do not need you. I do not need any of you. My son.
Father.
You will lead this charge. Take command of the men. At once.
What would you have me do, Father?
Heed my command and destroy the House of Darklyn.
Very well, Father.
Those who bring in the most heads belonging to Darklyns or Hollards or whoever is inside the Dunfort has been promised titles and lands. Even the lowliest soldier has an opportunity.
If I don't find somebody that I like more than Alliser Thorne, I'm gonna play Alliser Thorne.
Tisk tisk, Rhaegar.
Okay, listen, going along with it, okay? He ordered me to lead this sack of the city, okay? He was captured, okay? I'm not doing this, okay? I'm just doing what I was told, okay? And I'm gonna be scarred for life when I go in there.
Yeah,
So,
you are, and you're gonna turn into a Mad King too.
It's okay.